Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Grant Rettig. So in the past, I've had a few videos where I talked about how to attract birds to your backyard using different water sources, as well as being able to add moving water to your sources in your backyard. This can attract a lot more birds. So I was pleasantly surprised when the company Poposoap reached out to me and they wanted me to try one of their pond filters. I was super ecstatic about this because just ironically, I had my pond pump go out a few months ago. And unfortunately, this is kind of what it looks like now. So after opening it up and looking at the pond pump and looking at my pond, I actually had this awesome idea of something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I've been wanting to create a little rock fountain that I can either bury in my yard or just place in the backyard. So like I stated before, I'm gonna be using this Poposoap pond pump. It's a 660 gallon per hour, 40 watt pump, and we're gonna create a little rock fountain. Let's do this. One of the first things that I noticed when I pulled this out is it actually has a little container that the pump sits down in. It also uses a filter and it has some bio balls that help filter out everything. And I think this is a really good thing. And I'm gonna be really excited to use this. And I'm hoping that I'm not gonna have any issues with it. The first thing that we're gonna do here is we're gonna get this pond pump ready to go down in our water vessel. The size of the pump that you need is going to vary greatly depending on the vessel that you're using. So here is the pump here, and we're going to place it down in this little container. As you can see, it suction cups right in, so it's gonna stay right there. What we need to do is we need to make sure to bring the cord outside the cord slot. So if you can see that, the cord just slides right here, out the side, all right? And then lastly, what we're going to do is we're gonna put these little bio balls in here. And if you have a different pond pump, you might have a little bit of different setup. Like I said, I really like the fact that this sits down in something else. One of the biggest issues with pond pumps is they always seem to get clogged up and you have to take them apart and everything. So we're gonna see if these bio balls help. You kind of put them right down in beside this to help the pond filter here. Now that we have all those in here, we're gonna go ahead and put the top on. Snap it all down. And this is where we're going to decide what kind of fountain we have on the top. So typically, I usually like a little small bubbler or something that just comes out the top just a little bit. In this particular case, because we're going up so high, I'm going to add these little extensions here, and it might get too high to where you can't see it. But hopefully, we have this right here, and it's going to create a couple different slots. So as you can see, we have the pump all ready here to go, and we're gonna go ahead and try to put it down in. The next thing you'll need is some galvanized mesh. And I just went to my local Lowe's hardware store and I picked some up. And this way we can lay it over top of the opening of our vessel, and then we can put the rocks on top to make it look decorative. Next thing that you're gonna need is the vessel to hold the water in. For this case, I'm just using a simple storage container that I use for Christmas decorations. This keeps it relatively cheap, and it's something that I can easily move around if I want it moved. We're going to open our galvanized mesh here, and we're going to put it right over the top. We're also going to need to use some wire cutters so that we can cut the spool of the galvanized mesh, as well as cutting a hole in the top for the pump. Be very careful while you're cutting the wire mesh. It is very sharp, and with this being very springy, it can come back and catch your hand or an eye. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to cut a hole right in the center here, and that way the pond pump can come out the top, or the little nozzle from the pond pump can come out the top, and the water can come up. Next, we're going to put the pond pump back in and bring it out the top like this. From this point, I'm just going to kind of bend this all around. You can do something a little bit differently. I am going to keep it like this because I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to do with it. The good news is you can decorate the sides, and this is what we have so far. Time to put on some rocks. And lastly, you're gonna need some decorative rocks. So again, I just found these at my local Lowe's hardware store. You can use any decorative rocks that you like, anything that you may think makes it look really nice. We're just gonna put on our decorative rocks. Next, it's gonna be time to fill the water. And once you get it full, go ahead and plug in your pump. As you might have already been able to tell, I would have made a different choice when it comes to the decorative rock. Honestly, I would have preferred some longer, bigger, flatter rocks that would work in there. And I'm gonna keep adding to this to see what I can do to it, as well as the sides, depending on if you're planning on burying this in the backyard or if you're going to put it above ground. There's many different things that you can do to kind of decorate the sides to make it look a little bit better. If you're looking for a pond pump, I do highly recommend the Poposoap pond pump that I use today. I'm gonna add a link to the top here and you can check out some of their products. I will tell you that depending on the size of the water vessel that you're going to use, it's going to depend on the amount of gallons per hour that you're going to use for your pump. Like I said, this was a 40 watt, 660 gallon per hour pump. Depending on the size of it, you may need more or less. If you like this video and you'd like to see more information like this, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, get birding.